Good morning, my name is Clinton Draper. I am an owner and teacher at Distilled Pilates, a North Vancouver-based Pilates studio. I had some requests as part of the COVID-19 online home video program to do some work with the fitness circle. So I've got one here. Some of you have these at home. They're available at a whole bunch of different stores. You can get them off of various retailers. If you don't have one, you can actually do a lot of what we're about to do in this workout without the circle, just by placing your arms or your legs in roughly the same position. What the circle does is it just adds a little bit of resistance and some information. So I'd like you to start with the circle, or one of the sets of pads of the circle, just in contact with your low ribs, and then wrap your arms around it. If you don't have a circle, you're just making a circle with your arms in front of you. Now, I'm sitting cross-legged. You could be seated with your legs straight front or on a chair. The point would be that you can sit really upright off of your sits bones, quite tall. From this position, activate the low belly, and then you choose a direction. Just rotate your spine slightly to one side, and breathe it through center. And then rotate to your other side. And come center. And we'll keep with that, alternating your sides. The circle really keeps us honest, and that often I think we cheat rotation by really working the arms and shoulders to give the illusion that we're twisting more than we actually are. So I'd like you to visualize from the base of your spine right up to the crown of the head, every single vertebra, every single segment moving slightly. One more each side. And the last one. And breathe that to center. Still seated, take the circle in your hand and hold onto the pads with your fingertips extended so you're not gripping and using the strength in the hands just yet. From this place, bring the circle up so it's at about shoulder height. Feel your upper arm bones drawn into their sockets. And then I'd like you to take a nice big breath in, and for the entire duration of your exhale, gently squeeze the circle. Inhale, release. Do that 4 more times. Exhale, squeeze. And release. You'll feel your pecs, the muscles in front of the chest, come on gently. Now they'll come on no matter what. I'd like you to aim to feel the lats and your mid-low traps. Those are your underarm and back muscles, that big, broad, muscular V you might see on a swimmer. Take 2 more there, engaging the back muscles gently to help to bring some squeeze into the circle, and then release as you inhale. Your rib cage might feel like it narrows and knits together as you squeeze, and then you inhale and release. Still with the circle in hand, wrap your fingers around it, lower the circle down to almost touch the floor. Still with almost perfectly straight arms, 10 circle squeezes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, up to shoulder height squeeze. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 above your head like a halo. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold the squeeze, slowly lower the arms all the way down. And then I'd like you to place your hands on the inside of the circle. My fingertips are extended again. The circle is held just by virtue of the tension of my outward pressing arms. Once you're there, that same cycle of pulses. Press out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shoulder height. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Highest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower the arms all the way down. Take the circle, place it on the floor for a moment. Fingertips extend out to the side. Inhale as the arms come out and up. Exhale, let them lower down. And up for 2. And there's a real softness or a release of the arms as they come down. One last one. 3. And bring them down. Just the right arm comes up. Pour some weight into your left hand. Take a nice big side bend over. Press into your bottom left arm. Bring yourself all the way back and lower down. Left arm reaches away and up. Let it come all the way up, and then rooted through your left sits bone, side bend over. And come all the way back up. We'll do that 1 more each side. Right arm reaches. Let it come all the way up, side bend over. Bring that back and come down. Left arm now, reach. Lift, try to keep as long a right waistline as you can, even though it absolutely will shorten a little. And bring that all the way back. Now, if you're seated, bring the soles of the feet together and just gently round over the shape you've created. Heels do not need to be too close towards your bum. Take a breath there to create a little bit of a stretch. And then roll yourself all the way back up through your spine. I'm going to turn sideways, and you can align yourself with the length of your mat from wherever you were. My knees are bent, it's about hip distance apart, and I've got that circle in my hands once again. Bring yourself up as tall as you can. Put a little tension and tone into the circle like we were working before, and then do a half roll back on an exhalation. I'm trying to move my pelvis away from my femur bones. Inhale, your arms up high, and then exhale, curl yourself forward. Inhale, roll back up. 2 more like that. Exhale, half roll back, filling your low back backwards to the mat. Inhale, arms lift, nothing else changes. Exhale, bend forward. And then inhale to roll all the way up. Last one like that, gently squeezing the circle as you roll back. Bringing the arms up high, and then exhaling as you bend all the way forward. Inhale to roll up, just the first part. Exhale, half roll back and stay. Now from here, I've got a little bit of tension in the circle. I'm going to draw my upper arm bones more into my sockets, and then do a little curl forward, back, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more there, 9 and 10. Hold right there, or if you want it harder, arms come up higher. Little pulse. 2, try and do this by changing the shape of the spine more than by pulling with your hip flexors. You will probably feel a little quad, but I want you to have it sit in the low belly by flexing your low back further and further back towards the mat. Last 3, 2, 1. Curl all the way forward, bringing the circle to your feet, the nose to the knees, and then roll all the way up. Same half roll back. This time, you can either keep your feet on the mat or lift one leg to tabletop and then the other. Keep a gentle squeeze on the circle, maybe micro bend your elbows. Twist side, 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 side. Now we took a rotation a little bit earlier. I'd like you to find as much lift up out of the low back as you can. So you're trying to pick up out of the lumbar. And let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Remember how much twist there was when the circle was just around and in front of you? That's about how much twist you're aiming for here. So you do want to make sure you're moving your rib cage and spine, not just the arms. Last one, come back to center, lower your legs all the way down. Place the circle to the side for a moment, have a lay all the way down on your back. Once you're down on your back, make sure your head is on the mat. Grab that circle once again and place it in between the inner thighs. Now depending on the make of the circle you have, sometimes those pads are a little bit hard and firm. If they are, they can be a little uncomfortable. Adjust around for symmetry and for your own comfort. Hands come down by your hips. Take a breath in and then a slow squeeze on the exhale. Inhale, release. And squeeze. And release. And for me, this is about not using things. Not using my jaw, my neck, tension in the shoulders or chest, not using my quads. I'm trying to isolate this work in my very, very uppermost adductors, my uppermost inner thighs. Take 2 more of these slow. You don't need to bring the inner pads of the circle to touch, just about activation. So when you feel activation in the inner thighs, that's enough. Do 1 more to hold, and then with that tension still in play in the circle and the inner thighs, take a little pulse, 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 pulse. And you breathe in for a few, and you breathe out for a few, relaxing the tension in the body parts which are not currently required for the action. Toes, fingers, forearms, back of shoulders, these places are all heavy into the mat as you continue to pulse. Let's go there for just 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, release the circle, or release the tension on the circle, I should say, and then bring your attention to your low back. Now, wherever it is right now, it should hopefully feel like there's not a lot of tone in those muscles. I'd like you to engage your abs in the front, curl your tailbone off the mat, and lift your hips up into the air. Check for the circle, make sure it's not going to feel like it springs away from you. And then I'd like you to knit your front ribs in, Flatten across the hip bones and start into those little pulses again. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Now there's more engaged in the body than there was in the earlier variation. Stand down into your feet. Feel almost like you're trying to pull your heels up towards your head without actually moving the heels so that your hamstrings come on even more. And then this is a cue I don't always get to give. Try to relax your bum. Don't use your glutes here. Put it into the hamstrings instead. We'll do another exercise in a moment, which is going to be a little bit more glute focused. As you continue to pulse, I'm hoping you're feeling a little tingle of activation in those inner thighs and hamstrings. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From the top of the chest, soften to roll all the way down. Release your pelvis, and then you can reach up and grab that circle. Take it out from between the legs. Feed your 2 legs through it, so you're now pressing into the inner pads. If you don't have inner pads on your circle, you can just press into the circle itself. From this place, turn your toes out a little bit on your mat, and you might widen your feet a little bit. So there's already a little bit of tension in that circle. Now earlier I was saying you don't need to crush the circle or squeeze it too enthusiastically. Shelve that idea. Go for it on this one. Really do press out strongly. My full spine and pelvis are relaxed on the mat. I have a neutral curve in my low back, and I'm going to start to outwardly press into the circle for about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We're just going to keep that outward press going for the whole entire time. Keep your outward presses, but just barely curl your tailbone between your legs as you continue to press. So I've sort of made a tiny little spinal adjustment to take myself towards a little bit of lumbar flexion. Continuing to press. And then take that tailbone curl idea a little further. So I've now flattened almost all of my low back in towards the mat. I'm going to scoop in my low abdominals just a little bit more to fully flatten my low back into the mat. I almost feel like I'm going to lift my bum off the mat at this stage, but I haven't done that yet. Continue to outwardly press, and then do just barely pick your pelvis up and off the mat. Room for a single sheet of paper to slide underneath your bum cheeks right now. Full of your low back is still on the mat. I'll take these pulses and bring the pelvis just a little higher. So I'd say my low back is now off the mat, but I'm definitely still connected in the base of my rib cage, and I haven't come too high yet. Maybe you're starting to feel a little underbum working. Come a little higher with your pelvis. I've begun to bring my mid-back off the mat. And then continuing the outward press, come about as high as where a bra strap line might be, your mid-back, the base of the rib cage, somewhere around that neighborhood. And you can come just a little higher. My low ribs are now off. I really need to scoop my abs in here to keep that feeling of length in the low back, and then I don't want your low back muscles to be taking over as your support system. And then your last time, lift up, find your highest height in your hip bridge. And that's highest height where you don't feel like you're in a back bend at this point. I'm feeling quite a tingle in those underbums. If you're not yet, play with the alignment of your pelvis. Sometimes a little more or less of that sort of tucking idea can help you find your glutes more effectively. Let's take a last 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower your bum all the way down. Should have felt lively. We're going to take that a step further by flexing your feet. And if you want it harder still, slide your feet just a little bit further away from you. Now, we curled and articulated up before. I don't want you to do that now. I want you as one strong gesture to press your pelvis up and press out on the circle. Lift all the way up, and then lower your bum down to almost touch the mat. Relax the circle a little, press bum up, press out, and up, out, and out, and out. See if you can time the outward press into the circle and the lift of the bum so they happen at exactly the same moment, and it feels like they come from the same muscles, those kind of under bum and so high hamstrings. 8, 7, 6, aim to break the circle if you can. 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Lower all the way down and rest. So reach up, grab the circle, take it away for a moment, place the feet back down kind of where they were, but they don't need to be flexed. And then just bring the circle up into the air. We're not going to use the circle, that's just to hold on to it to get it out of your way. Let your 2 knees tip over to one side. Bring them through the center and over to your other side. And we'll do that just once more each. And last one. And you can come back, walk your feet a little closer together. This one is set up intensive but worth it. It is a variation of your obliques twist or your bicycle. Bring the right knee to tabletop. Place one pad of the circle on that right knee. Bring your left hand to behind your head. Curl up and bring that left elbow onto the other pad of the circle. So the circle is pinned between your right leg and your left arm. Now you can bring your right hand to behind your head as well. The head is lifted the whole time. The left leg can stay on the mat, that's your easy option. Up to tabletop, a little harder, or hardest, extend that left leg away. From whichever version you took, 20 pulses into the circle. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're halfway there, keep squeezing, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more is 9, and 10. Gently lower everything all the way down. Take a breath. You're aiming to find that diagonal line, underarm to opposite hip, and you should get into the obliques fairly effectively there. Just go to your other side. Left knee comes in. Right hand to behind your head, curl up. So right elbow and left knee have that circle. Bring your other hand to behind your head to support the weight of the skull. See if you can get that bottom left shoulder off the mat. And then your right leg comes up if it did on the first side and stretches away. Squeezing into the circle. Pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe the left elbow pulling back a little. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully lower with no collapse. And release. Excellence. There's a lot of other exercises you can do with the fitness circle, some arm stuff, some side leg stuff, but hopefully that was a quick go through that got you feeling a little bit warmer. Have a wonderful rest of your day. There'll be some more videos to follow, and stay safe out there.